Today we're talking about what to do after God gave you the idea. He gave you the idea. You feeling that pull, that nudge, that uncomfortable feeling. It's like you know what you have to do, but you don't know what to do first. So that's what we're going to talk about in this video. We're also going to talk about why waiting too long to move on your purpose can turn into frustration, and how to get out of the feeling of feeling unqualified. You're qualified. That's why he called you. That nudge will not leave you alone. So let's get into it. Here's why the idea won't leave you alone, because it's here to invite you into who God wants you to be, a new level of who you're supposed to be. What I realize is that when God gives you an idea, he's not there to entertain you or to tickle you. He's there to invite you in. He wants to see if you're willing to act on what he has given you. And here's why many people get stuck. They get stuck because they're waiting for the more confirmation, more signs, more research, more money. For me, I was waiting for more confirmation and more money. Many people are also waiting for more confidence and more clarity. As I mentioned before, I was waiting for a little bit of everything. Now that I think about it, I was waiting for, more specifically, more money, more confidence, and more confirmation. Like many other people, I used to compare myself to what people on social media were saying. Mind you, they're on their chapter 30, and back then I was on my chapter 1. So I'm like, okay, they're in their $50,000 a month season. So me making little to nothing season is like, okay, I should be looking like this. So it kind of impacted my growth, my success, my also being in my gratitude season. I kind of was like, well, if I don't have those type of numbers, if my views aren't hitting her type of numbers, then that means I'm doing something wrong. So I'm gonna step back. I'm doing something wrong, or I'm not doing enough, so I'm gonna work harder, burn myself out. But that's not how faith works. Faith works by movement, steady movement. When God calls you into something, he's moving you forward. And yes, it's uncomfortable. It is a strong conviction, but at the same time, we have to acknowledge that when he calls us, it is not to compare. It is not to say that he made a mistake. When God gives us the idea, the vision, our only responsibility is to take that step. Not look at someone else's garden, not to compare journeys. Our only step, our only action is faith and obedience. Active obedience is taking actions, moves, strides towards what we are called to do. The longer that you wait to take action, to move forward on that idea, to execute, the more frustrated you will become. Please hear me when I say that, because coming from experience, I quit my job because that nudge became stronger and stronger. My money started to act funny. Relationships were dwindling down, if not non-existent. I was putting in for promotion after promotion, even when I was overqualified for the position and I was getting denied. I was praying for ideas so that I can get out of that job, because I knew there was more to my life than what it was. So now that I'm thinking about it, now that I am more mature in my thinking, more mature in my relationship with God, it's like, oh, okay, I see what you did. It makes sense now. If you are praying for direction, he will definitely give you an idea. If you're praying for a solution, he will give you a solution to solve. So now that you have all the ideas, you have the business ideas, you have confirmation, and you've been validated, you're not overthinking. You're over consuming content. You're doing more research on YouTube. You're on Instagram comparing yourself to, oh my gosh, I can be this person. Yes, you can, but it takes you getting out of the procrastination, out of having the shiny object syndrome because you're hiding from doing the actual work intended. It's you getting out of the overthinking. What if you planning the 30-step marketing phase for the 6 niches and 10 ideas that you have. Faith without the action is definitely avoidance. And As I was reading Exodus 14:15, where Moses is crying out to God, God, what do I do? We're stuck. The Israelites and Moses are stuck. And Moses crying out to God when they reached the Red Sea and the Egyptians were behind them. God literally said, why are you praying out to me? Use what's in your hands. Oh, that verse alone just like puts fire up under my feet, because it's like, it's true. God is not saying, hey, stop praying to me, just move. He's like, prayer and faith alone, just prayer and faith alone is not going to get you there. You have to move and use what's already in your hands. Here's the thing that most people forget, including myself back in the day when I first quit my job. I thought I needed every single thing. I thought I needed 30-step marketing plan, the blue book. I thought I needed like 50 million coaches, watch 54 million more YouTube videos. But you have to understand that God already gave you all that you needed. You just need to take that step. What did he give you? The skills. He gave you the story, the experience. He gave you the ability to learn, ability to teach, ability to draw. What is it that he gave you to do? For example, did he give you the ability to design? Design what? Write them down. Write down the skills that you have innately. You have skills within you. Be it small. If you think it's small, write it down. Your previous employers hired you for the specific skills that you're sleeping on. If they were able to see your value, you should be able to see your own value. Okay. Look on your resume. If you need help, look on your resume. Write down what you know, something that's been nudging you. If you need help, look on your resume. It could be on there. Speaking of writing down, here's what you do after God has given you the idea. First, we're going to write it down. Write them down, big or small. Write it down. Write the vision down. Write them all down. Write your ideas down. Write down the vision. Habakkuk 2:2 says, write the vision and make it plain. Write it down. Number 2, simplify it. We are going to simplify all that we have written down. We're not going to do all things. I know we can do all things through Christ, but God is extremely orderly. He does not operate in chaos. Okay, so we must simplify and execute. Number 3, to execute on that one thing that we selected. So for example, if one of my skills, right? If one of my skills are to design, and I see, hey, you know what? I can possibly create income and impact from my design skills. Maybe I can help a small business owner with their graphics and turn it into a service. Hint, hint, wink, wink. That is me simplifying my skill sets. Now I'm going to execute by creating posts, creating content, and sharing my value, in posting my offering. That's my offer. And posting how I can help this specific person. My person is who? Business owners that need help with what? Graphic design. Next, this is a challenging one because the society of microwave, we need everything fast, but fast usually isn't really good. It doesn't last long. It doesn't create sustainability. It creates overwhelm and burnout. We don't want to resent our business. So what I've learned is to incorporate systems, structure. Okay. So for example, a content system is where you are batching a few of your content pillars on a day. So for Mondays, let's say Mondays and Wednesdays are for recording or creating your content for the week, right? On Tuesdays, you're posting it, or you're creating a automation, a scheduler to post accordingly. Most of these apps have automations built in. Instagram has an automation built in. Not TikTok yet. YouTube has an automation built in. There's schedulers out there, outside tools that you can use. If your specific platform that you want to be on does not have an automation, check to see which tools synchronize with that specific platform that you want to be on. And I can guarantee you, when you systemize everything, when you have everything structured, it works out so well in your favor. If there is no structure, obedience will definitely be challenging for you. Lastly, and definitely not least, is to start before you're ready. Start messy. You don't need the whole plan. You don't need a whole plan. You don't need an entire business plan. I wish someone told me this. This video was for me back in the day, because I thought I needed 30 marketing steps, 5 to 15 niches and ideas in order for me to, yep, this should work. God didn't give you He's not going to give you something, a provision to overwhelm you. Start with one idea, execute consistently. Okay. This is how purpose becomes profitable. When you are given an idea, make that move. Go on Canva, create a post it. That's it. Be consistent. Post another one tomorrow, the next day. Be consistent. Write it down. Celebrate the small wins. Okay. If you know you're called to designing, to teaching people, coaching people, if you're tied to helping people, serving people, don't sit on the idea. If you need help, this is why I created the Start Your Business Starter Kit. It is the perfect bundle, perfect kit for those that are ready to use their skills and turn it into sustainable, profitable businesses. We are in the wealth transfer. God is now positioning his people to receive wealth instead of just praying, instead of just wishing and hoping. It is now time for us to execute and receive what's rightfully ours. In this bundle, it teaches you how to identify. You have all these ideas. It teaches you how to identify what's profitable, the idea that you can create into an offer that you can sell. Not only does it help you create your product, but it also helps you to sell, where to sell it, who needs you. From this bundle, it teaches you who to speak to, where your people are hanging out at. Okay, so if you need help right now with business clarity, with how to systemize everything, how to create your offer, this bundle is for you.